The shooting in Midtown led to immediate fears about building security. Could this building on Park Avenue have done more? Should other buildings elsewhere in the city be doing more? The building at 345 Park had security guards. It had a system to lock the elevators, although the guard on the elevator button was shot before he could activate that elevator lock. Sal Lifrieri is with me now, former NYPD detective, president of Protective Countermeasures, which helps companies improve building security and handle threats. Sal, thank you for joining us this morning.
Good morning, Pat.
Can we talk about what was in place at this building first? They had a regular complement of security guards. They paid an off-duty cop to stand watch in his NYPD uniform under this paid detail program that the NYPD has. How much more can an office like this do in that lobby area to try to keep people safe and keep bad people out?
I think they were ahead of the curve when it comes to the type of security that they had at the building. You know, how much more can you have when you have a uniformed NYPD officer in the lobby creating that presence? You have the elevator recall button, which we tell our clients, and we do a lot with commercial real estate corporations, and we advise them that to have that recall button is important. Not just for the fire service, but for active shooter situations or when people come in to prevent these type of things from occurring. So they had an access control on the elevator. So they had a lot of things there. I think the one thing that we need, and not just in this particular case, but across the board, is that if you're trying to stop the shooting from occurring in the lobby at that particular moment, it's just too late. What we really need to do is you need to be able to establish a program that looks at potential threats from the beginning. What are those potential indicators to violence? What are those things that you would see that in the very beginning you discount, but then as time goes on, you start to realize it's getting more and more serious, and you can have an interdiction in that. We have a program called the TAG program, a threat assessment group, where we do exactly that for corporations. We get together with them and we look every month, we look at what are the inappropriate correspondence that comes in that sometimes ultimately turns into, problems that we can intercept.
Sal, of course, it's always an amalgamation of various techniques, and you hope that together they add up to some sort of protection. I had heard about gun detection technology, cameras on that plaza in front of this building. They would have seen and hopefully recognized that this guy was walking up with a gun that wasn't disguised in any way. But I think about the layout of that plaza there. I mean, New York City is at the doorstep. Yes, there's a little bit of a perimeter before you get to the entrance door, but it would take 20 seconds at most to walk across that area. From the time he got out of his car, it wasn't like there was a big warning period to call for help.
There are new and emerging technologies that are coming out that are supplementing what's already out there with gun detection capability on video. The one issue that is problematic is that people believe if we had someone in a command center watching this, they could react to it. And as you just said, 15, 20 seconds to go from the curb into the building, if that. The problem with video is that video is great for evidentiary purposes. It's great for forensic purposes. It's not very effective when you want to use it to stop something. Now, there is technology out there that will identify maybe a bag that has been put down or left in place, or someone who's conducting potential hostile surveillance that's not moving, that'll give you an early warning. But with respect to the gun detection, if you walk into the lobby with a gun and the alarm goes off that you have a gun, it's too late. You're there.
The final question, I guess, about the way these buildings are set up. They often have a turnstile of some sort for access control. The reality is you can jump a turnstile. People prove that every day on the New York City subway system. Could you operationally have a building that was more locked down with top to bottom turnstiles, or at some point did the day-to-day needs of the building overrule maybe the wishes of the tightest security?
It's one of the things when we conduct these assessments, we go in and try and figure out, okay, what are we trying to stop? What's your risk tolerance? what's the budget for what you can put in. We could actually create a system that's going to shut a building down and make it virtually impossible to get in, but then the building ceases to exist, right? So you have to try and hit that delicate balance to what's the risk, what are you trying to stop, and how do you provide the level of service that provides security but is still open. It's the same issue that we have in clients like in synagogues, where they have to be open and welcoming, and yet you have to provide a level of security for them. It's a tough balance, and it's something that takes time and good coordination between the security company that's doing the work and the end user.
Yeah, a lot of people thinking about that balance with fresh eyes this week. Sal, thank you for joining us this morning.
Great to be here. Thanks.